There has recently been a resurgence in interest in the Kennedy family, I think largely in part due to the Ryan Murphy series on Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and JFK Jr. And I keep hearing this thing I've heard for a long time about the Kennedy curse. And now I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm right where the Kennedys were considered royalty for so long. However, I want to make the point that it's not so much the Kennedy curse as it is just the poor choices and feeling above the law and above consequence that so many of the Kennedys, particularly the men, have. So I'm not talking about the unfortunate sicknesses that have befallen some of the Kennedy members. That's tragic in its own right and no one's fault. However, I'm talking about, say, JFK Jr., for example. When he passed away in that plane accident, that was due to his own choices. He was a very reckless person. I think he believed he was above any consequence and the law. And I also think that maybe he had an adrenaline addiction, as well as maybe somewhat of a death wish. I don't know where that comes from, but psychologically, maybe you can deduce he had a lot of issues with his father's assassination, loss of identity, a lot of things like that. He chose to not finish up his training fully, and he ignored the weather and decided that he would just go ahead and fly during dangerous weather while not being fully trained. And the consequence of that was tragic, but due to his decisions. So I think a lot of people just say the Kennedys are cursed. No, the Kennedys tend to be very self destructive. And I think that people just need to remember that.